Have you ever pondered why the Bible translates sorcery to mean pharmaceuticals? A fascinating question indeed. Let's delve into the linguistics and history behind this curious translation. In the New Testament, the Greek word pharmakeia crops up, a term which is often translated to mean witchcraft or sorcery. Now, you might be wondering, how does this relate to pharmaceuticals? Well, it's all in the roots. The underlying meaning of pharmakeia is tied to drugs, potions, and, yes, what we now term as pharmaceuticals. In the context of ancient times, pharmaceuticals were much more than just medicine. They were often intertwined with sorcery and magic, blurring the lines between the natural and supernatural. Concoctions were brewed, potions were created, and these acts were seen as mystical, almost magical processes. So the Bible's translation of sorcery as pharmaceuticals is not as far-fetched as it might initially appear. But what about natural apothecary? Why does the Bible seem to give it a pass? In the biblical narrative, the natural world is presented as God's creation, a vast and diverse tapestry of resources for humanity's benefit. Among these resources are herbs and natural remedies, which are mentioned in several passages throughout the Bible. The book of Ezekiel, for instance, refers to the leaf of the tree as medicine for the nations. These references to natural remedies are distinctly differentiated from pharmakeia, the Greek term translated as sorcery or witchcraft, and associated with drugs and potions, and this distinction is not arbitrary. It is grounded in the cultural and religious perspectives of the time. In biblical times, natural apothecary was seen as a gift from God, a divine endowment. The herbs and plants of the earth were given for the healing of the nations, a testament to God's care for His creation. They were natural, part of the created order, and their use required knowledge and wisdom, but not an attempt to manipulate or control supernatural powers. In contrast, pharmakeia was viewed as an attempt to usurp God's power. It involved the creation and use of potions and drugs, often in the context of magical rituals and incantations. This was seen as an affront to God's sovereignty, an attempt to bypass His established order and gain power that was not rightfully ours. The cultural implications of this distinction are profound. In a society deeply rooted in reverence for God's creation and order, natural apothecary was a gift to be gratefully received, while sorcery was a dangerous transgression to be avoided. Religiously, this distinction underscored the primacy of God's power and the importance of respecting His creation and His order. It served as a reminder that while we are stewards of the earth and its resources, we are not the creators, and our attempts to usurp that role are fraught with danger. Thus, the Bible's distinction between sorcery and natural apothecary is rooted in historical and cultural context. So, what can we take away from this intriguing exploration? In our journey through the annals of biblical translations, we've discovered some fascinating correlations. The Greek term pharmakeia, often translated as sorcery or witchcraft, has a profound relationship with what we today know as pharmaceuticals or drugs. This connection is a testament to the transformative power of language and how the meaning of words can evolve over time. We delved into the historical context of this translation, a time when the line between medicine and magic was blurred. The ancients viewed the world through a lens where the natural and supernatural were intertwined, where curing a disease could be as much a spiritual act as a physical one. The contrast we explored between pharmaceuticals and natural apothecary brings us to a key point. The Bible does not condemn all forms of medicine. It acknowledges the role of natural remedies, the herbs, the plants, the balms that heal and soothe. These were the tools of the apothecary, a profession respected and valued in biblical times. And finally, we confronted the cultural and religious implications of these ideas. How do they resonate with us today? In a world where advanced medicine and natural remedies often stand at odds, what can these ancient texts teach us? As we wrap up this exploration, I invite you to reflect on these themes. Consider their relevance in your life and in our society. Are we, in our pursuit of modern medicine, losing touch with the natural remedies that our ancestors relied upon? And what of the spiritual aspect? Do we still see healing as a mystical process? Or has it become purely clinical, devoid of any spiritual significance? Remember, the Bible is a complex text, steeped in history and culture. To truly understand it, we must not only read the words, but also grasp their context and meaning. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep seeking truth.